Hey guys, it's Raleigh. Hopefully you guys are doing well today on this afternoon. You guys asked therefore I'm going to deliver. I obviously suggested that maybe I should do like a timeline type of like, you know, video just to recall the funny and hilarious and also, you know, kind of jaw-dropping moments of these two individuals, both Nunu and Esther, who had a tumultuous relationship right from the beginning of when Nunu came on the scene. And I thoroughly believe that both of these people have been very impactful for the show. And I know that you guys want it, so therefore I'm going to deliver for my subscribers. And hopefully you guys can just sit back and just enjoy this video, you know, partial kind of, you could say a small mini documentary, whatever you want to call it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, click that button, subscribe. Hit the notifications button as well. Subscribe, and follow me on my Instagram at Murad_Morali. I would massively appreciate it. Now, before we get into this particular video, we have to take a moment of silence, just for this particular moment, because this was a moment. Okay. So she sings it. Yes, after you, Victoria's gonna get it, your sister's gonna get it. Like, what are you talking about? Chick, I'm a wild chick. Okay. River, what are you doing? No, whoever directed this is shambles, fam. How is this girl here? Why is he in the corner of the room for? Why is there no smoking sign? That looks so unprofessional. I like the chorus. The chorus is good. Wow. Yeah. My girl was really in the GP, but we're not going to talk about that today. Now, where do we even begin? Now, we don't begin right from the beginning of season 1. We begin from season 2, where Nunu came onto the scene. Nunu came onto the scene as somebody who was outspoken, somebody who was uncandid, somebody who wasn't afraid to speak their opinion and let people know about how she is, how she feels, and what she does. Now, obviously, this was obviously going to trump and irritate a lot of individuals and people, and if other people have strong personalities, she has a strong personality, what's going to happen are two people are going to clash, and we're going to witness a personality clash. And with Esther being somebody who's very outspoken and, you know, very loud as well, this can obviously be a pretty big issue. So what we have here is, we've noticed that Nunu is somebody who obviously expressed about the fact that she does stuff on her period and so forth, and this was one of the first main headlines to let people know, you know, that this person is causing a lot of chaos on the show, as well as press and views and popularity and conversation. We can go on and on and on. Now, people like Esther did not like this, and they found it was quite rude, saying that she was contradicting her points when I don't think she was in that episode.
Every day. It doesn't mean I have sex every day. She's fully contradicted herself. I didn't contradict myself. I didn't say I didn't have sex, but I'm saying it doesn't have to happen all the time. How can you contradict yourself? You will go as far as having sex on your period, which is and then you're saying sex is overrated. Is there something wrong with you? In a previous episode, you made it very clear that we said that having sex on your period is not right. Well, it's not right. It's not hygienic. You said, well, if I want to have sex, I want to have sex. Related? So what I'm trying to say to you is you're contradicting yourself by saying sex is overrated, because you will even go as far as having sex on your period. So it can't be overrated.
And throughout the entire episode, you can tell that she had this weird form of, I don't want to say hatred, but that's how it came across, where she would look at her in different ways, side-eye her, look her up and down, and not like the way she talks or acts, and simply just not appreciate her. And what we realized is that other people slowly began to follow this particular trend. Before we get into the other people who had their own issues with Nunu, a lot of other people were similar, like Azraya, you know, or Sia, you know, they were like, we don't need a and I don't need ad-libs. Like, I remember she'd say these small kind of things, and it's like, you know, you would Esther kind of laugh. It became like a bullying mentality kind of pack. It may not be seen like that from their side, and that may not be their intentions, but what people forget is how things come across to the audience, and that's how people saw it at the time. You know, or when Azariah was like, don't touch me, or when Nunu accidentally touched her, it came off very bitchy, and it just came off very unfair and just irritating. And a lot of us saw it as, why are you bullying Nunu? Now, Nunu could have been acting left, right, and center, behind the damn scene, but of course we don't know that. We're viewing and we're talking based on what we're seeing. People just keep forgetting that. What am I doing? Like, go into deep, please. Why have I got cranberry juice in an alcoholic glass, electric alcohol, when I've got a pink straw? Wow. Anyways, yeah. Sometimes we just have to like just deep it for a quick minute because this is too much. And then this continued on, and a lot of people caught onto it, and it continued on to, at the reunion. Even Chuma did not like her, and it seemed to be a lot of people were goading against some of hatred towards Nunu, and we didn't like it.
Let's be honest, you go on set and start chatting shit.
I mean, you jumped on a bullying wave. Now, I'll start, as like I said in the beginning, listen, but hold on.
But unfortunately for them, Nunu was very outspoken and did not let it, obviously, annoy her. And then it came to the point where she had her own indifferences with other people in the cast, such as Riva, and apparently Riva was helping her in the toilet and everything, and she revealed these details in the reunion, which we did not need to know, but unfortunately she did. And this continued on until when it came to the next season, where Esther just kept on badgering Nunu. Badgering is the word. You just keep on badgering and poking somebody, you keep poking them, and then when they get back at you, it becomes an issue and it becomes a problem. And obviously we all know about the infamous where Esther just says, what were you doing at 21? You know, popping babies.
Alright, cool. Out here, but that's why you're still single. Where were you at 21, Esther? Popping babies.
Yeah, I know. What?
Yeah, I was. Yes, I was. I was popping a baby. I popped a beauty.
Now this was because Esther was like to Nunu, that's why they're still single. Kind of come from her dad as well, and it just was an unwarranted comment, and everybody was, you know, it wasn't a big issue, but when Nunu reacted and replied, it became a big issue. And you can see everybody faces, especially Nissi, and everybody making excuses for Esther. Everybody saying, oh, you know, don't come for her children. If you attack somebody and then you play victim, it's an issue. It's a problem. I don't need to run through that because we've been through it already, but I thought I'd just give you a little bit, you know, of a timeline, which is what this video is about. So I'm not going to go over an in-depth analysis because that's what I've done. If you guys haven't seen those reviews, I'm sure you can find them if you click my name in BKCHAT. And this continued, and that was a major issue.
You like a man that can dish out money and can take care of you, and it goes kind of back to.
I need 5 minutes because I'm so fucking vexed. Do not ever talk about a fucking child again. Why was I doing at 21? I gave birth to a fucking baby. That's what I did. Do you know how I fucking struggled? No, do you know how I struggled? I took out a fucking degree. Do you understand?
And it continued to the point where once the season had ended, Nunu then did her own video where she made t-shirts on her channel, and she went around and asked people questions, and apparently she made over £3,000 from it. So clearly not only did she read somebody for filth to try to come, she's then profiting of it. So this is obviously going to make somebody even more irritated, even more upset. And then following that came this particular reunion. Now this particular reunion, everybody was really literally gunning down Nunu, and you can tell that this was a form of how you can just tell that people were really under Esther's control, and it's actually quite sad, especially people like Nunu and I don't know what's that other girl's name. It was in season 1 and then disappeared and came back to season 3. Ariete, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I apologise. She also said particularly that Nunu was on a bullying wave. Those were her exact words, which it clearly wasn't at all. And Esther sat there and said that people came for her child.
Proceeded to continue with the situation. Do you understand? But I am not held responsible. Esther was able to control herself. Her one came out as emotion. What if it had come out as rage? What would have happened then? Me personally, people attacked my daughter because of what you did.
Let
me finish. No, you wouldn't know this.
Because of me.
And people said things and that you're responsible, and Nunu was like, I'm not responsible. Don't make me responsible for something that I'm not. And I'm kind of glad she was able to see that clearance, because a lot of people don't, and this is how they end up in abusive relationships. what we have here is an abusive relationship between these two, and Esther is somebody who I feel like was abusing Nunu. And now abuse is a very strong word, but the reason why I say that is because of certain circumstances and situations where we have somebody who was literally cussing out someone for no reason. That person replies, their reply is more funnier, stronger, whatever you want to call it. Everybody acts as shocked. She then plays victim, and then she says, oh, you know, everyone's coming for my child. You are the one who started it. You obviously, you know, if you started all of these issues, why are you going to play victim? This is an issue that occurs with a lot of people, and this does occur in abusive relationships. It doesn't have to be a boyfriend and girlfriend, or boyfriend and boyfriend, or girlfriend and girlfriend. It can be friends as well, where you, or a parent as well, and a son, parent or daughter, where you are attacking and annoying somebody and bullying somebody and then playing victim once they respond. Because they are goading you for a reaction, and more time it's best not to give a reaction because silence is power. I'm just doing a timeline video and now I'm turning this into some like psychoanalytical video. That's not everyday psychoanalysis, let me just relax, but like, you know what I mean. So I found that to be quite interesting, and this continued and continued, and a lot of people were badgering her and goading her, especially Sia, saying stuff like, you know, oh, you know, Esther's reaction was emotional, what if it was rage? You know, as if we're promoting even more abuse, saying, oh, you know, basically saying that she's lucky that she didn't get beat when she was on minding her business, somebody attacked her, etc., etc. And then Lucas got into her as well, whatever. And then, you know, there was a bit of a post all of that. You had this whole, you know, the videos that she did it were all done and dusted on her own channel, and she kind of laid it to rest for a while. But it was quite funny to see how she profited of it, made t-shirts of it. She was literally rinsing it for all it's worth, which is what a business individual would do. Then season 4 dropped, and obviously it came to the point where when all this took place, Esther was ridiculously upset to know that they potentially might share a room together. And this is something that they just did not want. They didn't want to share a room together. They didn't want to be together. People were very hostile, especially Chioma. They were both kind of tag teaming against her. Now, again, although behind the scenes may be different, what they are oblivious to is how it comes across to the audience. So what you really should be doing is directing your energy to whoever is editing these clips, making you look like bad if you claim to not be bad. It's just hilarious. Like, forever pointing fingers and never self-reflecting. And this continued and continued throughout, and then they had their issues, and they had their conversations, and then obviously Nunu would cry and get upset and be emotional about it because she doesn't know what the issue is and problems between them, and this would continue and continue in the first couple episodes of the season. And then as the season 4 progressed, because they worked together in an environment, forced to be for 2 weeks, their relationship began to, you know, I wouldn't say they became best of friends, but they really did, it leveled out. And they weren't as bad anymore, and it seemed that they were becoming acquaintances, which was nice to see. You know, although their toxic relationship was bad from one's perspective, it was great for reviews, and it was great for views, and great for press and everything. Great for Twitter, everything. Because that whole What You Did at 21 Pop and Baby scene really spiked it back up to how it was season 1. The views, everything. So that was actually quite nice to see in terms of that respect. But now it looks like they have also now become good friends. So which I expressed in the video yesterday, where Esther expressed that, you know, they've seen different sides of the person, it's been 2 weeks, it's nice to see people return on a fresh leaf, and as I said, it would be nice for them to do a video together to really show the in-depth growth for their relationship from what it was, you know, from how Esther was shading her, being unnecessary to her, and looking at her and side-eyeing her for no reason, and, you know, obviously telling her all the time I don't need a narrative and all this, and then ganging up on her in terms of the reunion stuff, and then, you know, cussing her out, and then when she replied back, Nunu, she played victim and got emotional and went and left and got upset, and then Nunu made t-shirts, and then she registered for all its worth, everything. So this has actually been an extensive timeline that I thought I would put down to a small video, just under 10 minutes hopefully, because I feel like this is a particular important video to do, only because I know you guys love me doing anything BKCHAT related. I know you guys do. So really and truly, as somebody who is obviously the person who does this channel and does these videos, from a marketing perspective, I have to give my audience what they want. And you know, if this is what you guys want, which is obviously you guys do, because the engagement is always high for BKCHAT, I thought I would do it. So there's no harm in doing so, and also it was requested once I suggested it. Let me know if you guys like this timeline video, if you guys have any other timeline sections that I may have forgotten to add in this particular video. I feel like that's just a rough estimate of their relationship. A very tumultuous one between these two that unfortunately was never going to end. We thought, although good for views, it wasn't good for themselves. However, it seems that they have managed to be on a better position today. thankfully, and it's actually very nice to hear. And hopefully these two prosper in whatever they are doing. So subscribe to my channel, subscribe. Click that button. I would massively appreciate it. Follow me on Instagram to Murad_Murali. Tag me on Instagram, just follow and like a few pictures. I would appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll definitely catch you guys soon.